Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Atlanta Falcon Nation, what it do? This is the AFN boys coming at you. This is the season finale, final post game of the season. To my stage right, I got Mr. Big Low Country Sports, aka the coach. At the bottom of me, we got the architect, the mad scientist himself, Mr. Mad Mike Sports. And from the diagonal point of me right there, you got the calm before the storm, Mr. Jew Talk Sports, coming in with our thoughts on the Tampa Bay beat our ass by 44-27, fellas. What are we thinking now that the season is over? And
let me say this. I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna start it off just like this. All you Matt Ryan haters, you see exactly what happened today. That man played his fucking ass out, played his heart out. The last game of the damn season, he was the only one outside of the offense was. I'm gonna say this. The offense played their heart out. I'm extremely proud of what I saw from the offensive ball. Offensive line, they did a good job in pass protection. They did a pretty good job running the ball. Play calling was subpar, but that's pretty much it. Wasn't terrible, but it was subpar. But Matt Ryan, man, what more can we say about this guy? We saw exactly what he's always been. This team has absolutely nothing to play for besides pride and manhood. And you've seen exactly that. What else can you say about it? I mean, Matt Ryan is Matt Ryan. Still throwing. People say that he can't throw with velocity. All he was doing was throwing heat. I mean, I'm gonna say this too. They said the same thing about Tom Brady and Matt Ryan. These old guys can't do it. Both those guys were throwing heat all game long. They were throwing heat. All these people talking about, oh, we need to get these young guys. We need to get these young guys. Well, the young guys ain't showing right now what they can do. All the young guys right there, all they trending down, including your greatness, your highness. And I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes. Even he's slowing down right now. But these old guys, they're staying level. It's all about consistency. All y'all can say all you want about Tom Brady. You can say all you want about Drew Brees and Matt Ryan. You know, even New England, Phillip Rivers. Even Phillip Rivers is doing his job. Like, even Phillip Rivers is doing his thing, man. Like, all these old guys is like they showing that they still has something to offer. But yet we still got guys that have one good game, and now he's Jesus Christ. One good game, and now he's Jesus. Now one good game, and now we'll throw away the entire offense for one person. I love the guy. I don't want nothing but the best for him, but let's stop. Consistency. This is what the NFL is all about. Playing quarterback is not about overall talent. It's all about consistency. You can have one game and you have 2-3 bad games in a row, but what did that leave you? You're just an inconsistent quarterback. NFL is all about consistency. You can look good. You can look great. You can have one amazing game, but all the rest of them are subpar and terrible. You're an inconsistent quarterback. And those guys end up having careers like Ryan Fitzpatrick, end up having careers like Nick Foles. Yeah, Nick Foles got a championship, but guess what? He hopping from team to team. If that's what y'all want, I'm just trying to figure it out. Let me know what y'all got, what you guys think. That's my overall assessments for the offense. The defense is just, we need Jesus, man. That defense just needs Jesus. Maybe Jesus can put some holy waters. He can get these guys, feed them fish. I don't know what the fuck gonna turn these guys. I don't know what the hell they're gonna do. That defense is absolutely atrocious. One thing I do want to see from this defense, one thing I do want to see from the defense is I never want to see Ricardo Allen ever again. I don't want to ever see ever in life. I don't want to ever see him in Atlanta Falcons jersey ever again. Because this dude was absolute. I don't know what the hell he was doing. He was late. He couldn't tackle. The only good thing today I saw from him is he scooped up a drop pass for an interception. That's it. The dude was an absolute shit show today. Absolute. He looked like an absolute clown out there. Late to everything. That's just my old set. What's y'all assessment of offense and the defense? Jew?
Hey, the first thing, I know I made my Justin Fields video yesterday, but after seeing the defensive line today, y'all know I'm all about that defensive line play in the trenches. Tom Brady had all day to throw. As Big Country would say, we weren't in the bathroom handing Tom Brady no tissue today. He had the door locked. Won't nobody on his tail. Y'all know how much I love Dante Fowler, but that one sack that he had, that was the Tack McKinley sack from the beginning of the season where he came clean, nobody touched him, and he just ran right to the quarterback, and I could have sacked Tom Brady on that play. So I seen him celebrating and stuff like that, but that really wasn't nothing to celebrate about. That defensive line play today was horrible. I know a lot of us are going to look at the back end and be like, Sheffield's terrible. Isaiah Oliver's terrible. AJ Terrell didn't play that well. Ricardo Allen's terrible. Yeah, the secondary didn't play well, but Tom Brady had all day to throw. And when you got, it is not like he's playing with the Patriots wide receivers. He got dang near 3 number 1 receivers on this. Godwin is a great receiver. Evans is a great receiver. And Antonio Brown's a great receiver. So, I mean, to be honest, the main thing that I noticed that was a glaring weakness for the Falcons on defense, no pressure. Like if you put Matt Ryan on the Bucs today and allow him to just sit back there all day to throw, any competent quarterback, any good quarterback is going to sit there and pick you apart with no pressure. And we all know that Tom Brady is not mobile. So he was sitting back there flat-footed. A couple times I've seen him sitting back there flat-footed, chilling, waiting for somebody to break open. And other times when we did finally get there after maybe 8 seconds, because it was just a great coverage, he threw the ball out of bounds. But for the most part, Tom Brady had all day to throw. So I'm not going to be that hard on the secondary today because I didn't see any pressure. Like I seen no pressure, absolutely no pressure. So I know I made my Justin Fields video, but I guess now it's time for me to make my Gregory Rousseau video because we need, you talking about Jesus, we need to draft defensive line with our first 4 pick. How this defensive line is looking, man, I'm like, bruh, other than Grady Jarrett, who else out there is a playmaker on the defensive line, to be honest with you? Like, I love Dante Fowler's attitude, but he's underachieved this season. Yeah, Raheem Morris, I don't think he went about it the right way with calling him out earlier in the week, but I think Dante Fowler knows that he had a bad season. He underachieved. For him to be making, what, $15 million a year? I like the plays he made early in the season in the run game, but I really think that he is hurt because he's not flashing. And to me, if he's really hurt, don't play. Because when you're out there, we're going to judge you as if you're 100%. And from what I'm seeing from Dante Fowler and from the rest of this defensive line, today it was a horrible performance. All of them stole money today on that defensive line. I didn't see no effort. I just didn't see it today like I wanted to see it. I felt like
you
Tom
see
Brady,
what it's like without Grady Jarrett. Without Grady Jarrett, 100%, you got to see exactly what. I think that was great. I think that was a great observation or opportunity for Falcons fans to see what this defensive line actually looks like without Grady Jarrett. Without Grady Jarrett, man, we are just beyond doo-doo.
Yeah, we trash when we ain't got Grady Jarrett out there. I mean, it just shows how much impact he makes. Like the hustle plays he makes running back up the field to make tackles. I don't know if you guys seen how Rojo was running the ball, but he was doing what he wanted to with us. Their offensive line was bullying us. We saw that Charmin soft toilet paper defensive line. Like he was running through us like it was nothing. They was running through us like we was a brown paper bag that was wet. It was running through us, dog, and we couldn't do nothing about it. So that's what I've seen out of the defense. My assessment on the offense, we were talking about it early. Calvin Ridley, that man don't like contact, man. He wants to make contact on his own will. If Matt Ryan throw that ball across the middle and he feel any type of pressure, you seen when the ball got snatched out of his hands at the end of the game, and that's because he was trying to avoid the hit. That's the reason that ball got snatched out of his hands, because he wasn't trying to get hit. So he gonna have to step his game up. He gonna have to get over being hit. I don't know what it takes to get over that. Personally, I didn't play organized football. Coach Lowe have to break that down. Or how do you get over getting your bell rung? Is what my dad used to call it. I don't know how you get over that.
Weight room.
That's just your heart, though. That's just all heart.
That's mentality. That ain't got nothing to do with the physical.
Yeah, that's all heart. You can't.
Only thing that's going to change that is weight room and getting hit.
Yeah.
Apparently, look, he got to the NFL, so he done took some licks in the past. But the fact of the matter is that it's one of those situations where somebody must have cleaned his clock with a fine-tooth comb sometime in the past. And it's just one of those situations where now whoever it was, if it was a linebacker, if it was number 44, he's still seeing it in his dreams today.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, guys, that Tom Brady, I don't know if y'all heard, but Tom Brady just signed an endorsement with Tide because his jersey was clean as I don't know what by the end of that game, y'all.
Exactly.
It don't make no sense, man. How in the world? We all know that the way to get pressure on Tom Brady is A-gap pressure. Whenever Grady went down, I said, well, this game is over. This game is over because nobody else is getting no pressure up the middle. This was Marlon Davis's chance to shine. Like we've been saying all season, he hasn't gotten that much playing time and he needs a chance to develop. But, this was his chance to flash and he just really didn't get it done. And, we need some help on that defensive line if we want to get anything done. Like I said, with Ricardo Allen, he's been getting there. He's been running on CP time, just the same way he has all season. Y'all know what I say about these tipped and dropped intercepted passes. They're definitely overrated. I know at the beginning of the season, whenever y'all was talking about Michael Walker getting all those tipped interception passes at the beginning, oh my goodness, Michael Walker, he's going to be the guy. Like, wait a minute, y'all, let's pump the brakes now, and sometimes whenever a guy's in a position to catch an interception on a tip pass, that's not always a good thing. That means that he was just getting there late and that event just happened whenever he was in that spot. So, yeah, I definitely do not want to see a Falcons jersey with 37 and Allen on the back of it next year. We need to go ahead and move forward.
Oh, my God. He was slow to everything today. I've never seen the guys that, he's looked like a damn rookie out there, slow to every aspect, again, I understand they didn't have pressure, but there's no excuse for a guy to be at least a second and a half slow to everything. I mean, to everything. He was slow to everything. Kstylz, man, what you got, bro?
Boy. I'm a kind of be honest on this one, and I would disagree with Coach on this point about the tipped interceptions. At the end of the day, those interceptions usually be the ones that make or break seasons. I understand you don't like them. I agree with that, but you like I said, sometimes those kind of plays right there can make or break a game. But let me get to this point. It looked soft out there, bro. It was bad. It players look like. See, this is what happens when you have a defensive line full of defensive ends and 3-4 outside linebackers.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like I said, Tom Brady was just looking at our defense, looking like this is what y'all brought. And like I said, I agree with you on this one. Calvin Ridley done got exposed these last few games. Yeah, like I said, he had 4 games of over 100 yards. But if you actually look closely at a lot of those receptions, he gets some big receptions. But when it comes down to those money receptions, as far as being a number one, he's not ready yet.
I always say key situations. Big time players make plays in key situations. I don't give a damn how good you were against, early in the game and all that type of stuff. The big time players make plays in big time situations, and that's the same for the defense. I don't give a damn if you rate top 5 we saw last year. With the 49ers, they were great all year, but when in key situations, they failed to get it done. So that's what like looking at last week, the same thing. Calvin really had drops. He had drops in key situations. That's not a number one receiver. I'm sorry. He put up, 1,800 yards? That's great, but we got to get these key situations. And that's like, honestly, it's not the Falcons. It's not Matt Ryan. It really isn't a lot of things outside of coaching. And you can kind of put a lot of that blame on the players also, but key situations, we fail miserably. I don't know what it is, but we got to get that. And the only thing that's going to change that, to be honest, is a culture change. This team needs a culture change, period, point blank. It's not – I can't put it all on the players in that situation because this is what the coaches created. They created this soft environment. That's why you got to get rid of everybody. You got to get rid of every one of those coaches. You cannot have anybody come back. I don't care who it is. This is a soft culture, and these guys need to change.
You basically took the words right out of my mouth on that. I mean, if you looked at the sideline of the Falcons sideline from where they panned away from, like I said, you could really see how fractured this locker room really is. It's fractured how this team really is mentally. Because I saw Julio, like I said, this is where Julio Jones kind of gets his money while getting his flack at. At least I saw him out there trying to coach people up.
He's a player, and he's doing that. That's a problem.
And the thing and the whole issue with that was, if you looked at halftime, he would actually getting into Ridley, telling him, you got to do better. You got, like I said, you can't be scared of that contact. Like I said, especially if you want that money when that contract comes up. I mean, like I said, this is the offensive game plan we have been clamoring for all season. Get the ball out of Matt Ryan's hand. Use the running backs in the passing game. We actually saw a zone run play this game. Wait till week 17 to do it.
The offensive line look good. They look damn good. Like I said, I love what the offensive line looked today. It was a balanced attack. The first time really all year that the play calling, I still thought some plays he still does a horrible job of setting up plays. He still does a horrible job of setting up plays. That's the only thing really about Dirk Cutter. He just doesn't understand. He just doesn't understand that you have to set up plays.
Ghost Pepper saying Tom Brady had enough time in the pocket to drop a brand new motor in a 71. It was that bad. Like I said, who the hell decided to call? Like I said, I called it the OnlyFans defense before. We got to rename it. We're going to rename it. We're going to the Suki Hana defense.
Suki Hana.
That was the Suki Hana defense right there.
Hey, y'all probably don't know Suki Hana, but yeah, I know who that is. I know.
But hold on, we gotta get to that. We gotta get to that $5 super chat by New Drop though. Like I said, oh yeah. Also, we appreciate everybody joining in with us too.
Absolutely,
like, everybody get your final gripes out the way here. This the end of the season,
man. Go in, everybody. Just go in, man. This is the first time y'all can say what the hell y'all want to say. It don't even matter. Just go in, bro. We're not banning nothing. None of that. Just go in. This is the last one, bro. We're gonna go. We're still gonna go live, but this is the season finale, bro. This is the season finale. So get it all out.
Yeah. So New Drunk came with the $5 super chat. Said Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitrov built a speed defense. Great defense have a blend of speed and power and size in the trenches.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
That's 100.
I don't care how fast you are. It don't matter. It don't make no difference if you chase behind somebody.
Exactly. Bruh. When Grady Jarrett went out, I literally saw Tampa Bay offensive lineman.
Woo! Boy, they got so excited.
Hold the hell on. This is what our defensive line looked like.
Hey man, look.
They saw them brick ass hard. I got to say it a couple more times because that represents every lineman we have. Okay, that's it. Bro, they were literally tossing our defensive linemen around like they were kids.
Bro, I said this. These dudes look like they was playing patty cake. Looked like they was legit playing patty cake with the offensive line. All I saw all day was
titty bumping. That's what it was. It was titty bumping. That's all it was. It was titty bumping.
Bro, like I said, I don't care what nobody says. A new quarterback can't change that.
Bro, that's
a new quarterback can't change. Bro, when you
need a coaching change.
It has to start. It has to start with coaching.
My whole thing is that I don't care. Like everybody talk about the defense being soft and everything, and us going into that playing the sticks in that 3rd and 16 and stuff like that. Like I don't even care. Like I know coaches that coach soft teams. Like I know coaches that like they don't blitz that much. They fall back. But if it's working, doggone it, do it. But if it's not working,
bro, they was
not working. Just fall back off of it.
That's it. No, that's my thing. That's exactly it. Why are you going away from things that work? I don't give a damn if it's cover 19. Goddamn, if it's cover 19 is working, keep doing cover 19. God damn.
If we had to put 10 people on the field, if we stopping people, well, doggone, somebody sitting out. Yeah, we're going to have to pick somebody every play to sit out or something.
Good gosh, bro.
Bro, you gave up a 3rd and 17 and played prevent and gave up 35 yards. How the hell does that happen?
No awareness.
Like they put them in no man's land. Think about it. If I'm 15 yards away from the line of scrimmage, and you're running towards me, and you could go in any direction that you want to go in, and I'm standing still, I'm going to get beat.
You have the advantage. Exactly.
Hey, Mike, I'm surprised we were talking about Rico and how he need to go. I'm surprised you didn't talk about that first touchdown Antonio Brown caught that this motherfucker.
I know. That's what I was actually about to say. That's exactly what I was about to say. That's the main reason why. I was like, bro, what are you? He's just standing there. What the hell are you thinking? He was the only. It was no other receiver in the vicinity, and he's just standing there, bro.
He stood there and fell as soon as he was about to make his first move.
It's literally no other receiver in the vicinity, and he's just standing there. What in the heck?
But
that right there is inexcusable. You cannot that's inexcusable. You can't just stand there, bro.
But you know what though, man? We do gotta give some love to Foyer. Like I know that he caught that touchdown on him, but he was right there, man.
Yeah, he was right there.
He was right there. Like he was in there. He just swung at the wrong time. But you got to give him some love on that play. That was pretty good coverage on Chris Godwin, 20 yards down the field.
Yeah.
I just don't like those matchups. We have a tendency to put our linebackers in those types of, even though they are fast, we have a tendency to put them in bad situations to look even worse than what they actually are. He shouldn't have been in that position to begin with to guard a receiver. Godwin is a hell of a receiver. Why would you put him in that position? You know what I'm saying? I just don't get it. I really don't get it. That's what I just don't get with this team. I just don't understand what the defensive scheme or the philosophy or what the hell they even thinking. I just don't know what they like. What are you thinking? I legit want to know what the heck are you thinking?
Well, we're gonna get to this $5 super chat by Fire Falcon. Appreciate you joining us. Appreciate it, man. He said rushing 3 all season and it doesn't work, but they still keep doing it. Shaking my head.
We've been talking about this all season. And my biggest problem, my biggest problem with the defense, like Coach Lowe was saying, my biggest problem is, to me, we don't make teams play on our terms. Like, as a defense, why are we always the one reacting to what somebody else is doing? Like, be aggressive. Make them react to what we're doing. We bring everybody, like, how many times have we seen we bring everybody to the line like we're going to blitz and then drop everybody out and bring 3? Like, bring the house. If you're going to show the house, bring it. Like, Tom Brady knew every time he's seen all them people at the line, they ain't coming for me. Like, he was chilling. He didn't look like he was nervous.
He know that.
Audibly. He looked like, okay, they at the line, but everybody finna drop into some type of coverage. Ain't nobody coming for me. And that's my biggest problem. It's like, you have to instill fear. Like, even if he get the ball off, still put that helmet in his chest. Like, make him feel something. You might get a flag, but make him feel something. Like, with our team, when y'all talk about that soft culture, my biggest problem is we're not aggressive. We're not aggressive. Like, when you blitz, you're going to get beat sometimes. But we're still getting beat in cover in zone. Like, doesn't make.
I'd rather get beat in more than one way. I'm getting tired of getting beat the same way. I at least want to see it from a different perspective. Like,
exactly. That's my problem. Is like, we're always the one trying to maneuver and react. Like, when you sitting back, like he said, 15 yards back, you're the one reacting. If I got the ball and I'm running at you, I'm the aggressor. You're not the aggressive sitting there flat-footed. And to be honest, the hardest way to make a tackle is if you sitting there flat-footed and somebody got momentum running full speed at you. Because then why we miss so many tackles, because our guys are steady backpedaling and never going forward. So, like, you're going to get ran over because you have no leverage. So I'm like, my biggest problem is, like, be aggressive. Why are we never the aggressors? Be aggressive. Like, one thing I can say about Jim Schwartz, the Eagles, like, I would hate to play in that secondary because they're always out on islands by themselves, but he's going to attack you. The same thing with Rex Ryan. They're going to attack you. Todd Bowles today, he brought some house blitzes at Matt Ryan, and most of the times, Matt Ryan was throwing off his back foot. He didn't have time to get the ball off. And to me, on third downs, third and longs, make them throw the ball short of the sticks. Make them go to their hot read and make us come up and tackle. So bring some heat. Like, on 3rd and 16, it's no reason why on 3rd and 16 we're playing coverage and Ricardo Allen getting mossed on by Godwin. And we got all of those guys back in coverage. That makes no sense. So that's my thing on defense is being aggressive. Like, stop always being the one reacting. Make them react to what we doing. If we bring in pressure, make them have to go to their hot read. Like, stop letting them be the aggressors all the time, and we're the ones folding like lawn chairs and like cheap tents all the time.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna use a better analogy on that one. I'd rather go down like Nate Robinson, to be honest with you. At least he went down swinging.
Hey, man.
That is a different mentality from you going down swinging and you just standing in the corner letting somebody hit you.
Yeah.
That's where this Falcons problem is right now. Is letting people hit us in the mouth and we not hitting back.
That's a perfect analogy. That's perfect. We just sit there and just get hit, and we get hit, and we don't swing back. It's like you getting, that bully in the neighborhood, man. Your mama standing in your corner. Boy, you better hit him, man. You better hit him back. Hit that man. Hit that man. That's what you need to do.
Exactly.
Let the bully beat you up. No, you need to get some licks on that big bully. You know what I'm saying?
We never get stumped out, dog.
Hey, what do y'all say? Scared money don't make money, right?
Make money, bro.
Right.
You gotta go and get it, man. Like I said, it's out here. Like I said, we got Kendall Sheffield looking terrible out here. Dante Fowler getting blew up by tackles. The Tui Mariner it's like everybody just get blown. Dion look confused out there.
Debo on that touchdown. Oh my God! Like, he just let that man cross his face.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so you let him cross his face. Yeah, he almost looked like he was like in a glitch on Madden or something. The guy crossed his face, then he's like, oh, my bad.
Oh, I'm supposed to get him. Like, yeah.
Hell, like I said, Devon Stanford said Ricardo Allen was running on AOL dial-up. Hell, the whole damn defense was running. This defense, Foye, Grady, AJ, even Keanu Neal. Like I said, this is the core of your defense. Deion's still a captain, but he's kind of regressed this year as far as coverage, and I don't know if his confidence got shook.
They don't believe in him. What I saw from the offense and what I saw for the defense was completely different. They do not believe in that defensive philosophy at all. At all. Grady Jarrett is literally the only guy out there playing with any type of pride. That defense looked absolutely. The offense, yeah, it has their faults and whatnot, but that.
See the problem. Like I said, and I will agree with y'all. Like I said, this scheme, this cover 3 scheme is not meant for just a fast defense. Like I said, your defensive line got to have some meat on the bone. You got to have some meat on there. You can't be eating healthy choice meals out there. You need some beef. Need some hungry man dinners out there. You got healthy choice dinners out there. That, like I said, don't nobody eat that shit. But like I said, at the end of the day, like this game was gonna show who was gonna want to get paid next year. And I saw a lot of guys did not want to get paid next year.
Mm-mm.
I'm just gonna keep it real.
No heart whatsoever on that defensive side of the ball. I saw absolutely no AJ. He's a rookie. I don't really expect a lot from him outside of rookie. He's gonna have those plays where he's up and down. Those are rookies. That's what I expect from rookies. But when you got guys like Ricardo Allen and Stephen Means, Dante Fowler, these guys, like, they're getting absolutely no pressure, no nothing. It's like, why are you even out there? Why the hell are you even out there? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Coach Low Man, let us know, what would you do with the defense, just with the team in its entirety? How would you go about fixing the team?
So it's like right now, it seems like we're like at a little bit of an impasse, but we also got to make some money decisions. So the first thing that we got to figure out, what I would try to figure out myself is, are we going to run 3-4 or 4-3? So if we are running 3-4, let's go ahead and get Micah Parsons. And go ahead and get somebody else, because honestly, Grady, he's versatile enough to run that nose tackle or that defensive end position, or he could just be interchangeable depending on down and distance. So if we are running 3-4, we definitely got to get another linebacker. I know you said earlier, Mike, that you don't think with the money and everything, Fourier might not be back. So we might need, we might have to put Michael Walker in there, that other inside linebacker position, and then get another linebacker, Andre Cisco. If they decide not to move Isaiah Oliver to free safety, Andre Cisco.
Yeah, I like him. I definitely like him.
Yeah.
I do agree. As far as Fourier is just too good to be able to stay with his team, and he already have. I'm expecting some team to offer at least some picks for him, because, like I said, Falcons just don't have enough money right now to be able to afford him and Debo. Yeah. And Walker looking good. He looking really good. So it's like, who? How you gonna keep him? You can't keep him. Like, let's just be real. You can't keep him. That dude is gonna. He is going to at least command a first round pick. He's that good. Fourier is that good already. And like, the Falcons just don't have the money for the next 2 to 3 years. You just don't have the money to be able to pay him, because Grady Jarrett, Deion Jones, Julio Jones, those guys in the next year or so, their money is going to increase.
Yeah.
So that's it.
All right.
So I done seen Fourier all season. They don't rush him often, but when he does rush, he look pretty good when he does rush. So if they move him in at that end linebacker position in that 3-4, I think it could take his game to a whole nother level, because he could guard tight ends. We just seen him guard Chris Godwin, and he could rush. So I think that would be the way to go. If it were me, I'm sorry, Kstylz.
Oh no, my bad, man. I was just trying to get this $5 super chat out the way.
Yeah, I just read it.
I get what it mean by get a general manager, new coaching staff, and use the man cheat code to win some Super Bowls.
Hey, we need something, man. We got too much bad luck.
But go ahead, coach. Keep going. What you were saying?
My bad. I was going to say that, because it's obvious that we just don't have pass rush right now. So if we did decide to go in that 4-3 route, like that means that we would have to get another defensive lineman. So, that's another person we would have to add to the situation.
You said that, because the way the roster is constructed, we don't have the money to go out and get another defensive end. We don't. So we may have to convert to a 3-4.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, if they do decide to trade back, which I would suggest, because we just, their bank account looking like big low countries right now. They just ain't got no money. So it's one of those cases where, you need to get as many draft picks as you can get to, get that young talent to help build this team, because we can't afford to go out and pick anybody up right now.
Say that again, Lo. Say that again. Say that again. Say that
for the folks in the back. For the folks in the back, we ain't got no money. We can't pick nobody up, man.
You gotta pay quarterbacks. You gotta pay these top 5 top 10 quarterbacks. They're not free. They come with at least a $10 million cap hit at the very least. I'm just saying.
Like you said,
bro.
Like I said, just put it in the acronym WDM. What damn money?
What damn money? We ain't got no damn money.
All I was gonna say was piggyback on what Coach Lowe was saying and what Mike was saying. Hey, if I'm the Falcons, I'm trying to finesse somehow, some way. I'm trying to finesse Foye into signing. And what I've been hoping, what I would do, I'm not letting Foye hit open market. He has one more year with the Falcons. This offseason, I'm signing before he hits the open market, because if you guys remember, and I'm glad we moved on from him, but Austin Hooper, he was one of those guys that was like, the Falcons just didn't offer me anything. And then when his deal was up, well, of course he's going to go to the highest bidder now, because he knows his worth. And if you sign a player before they actually know what they're really worth on the open market, sometimes you can finesse your way into, paying them a lesser contract. So what I'm doing, if I'm the Falcons, I believe in players. Get your money while you can, because you never know when you're going to get injured or when your career is going to be over. But if the Falcons somehow, some way, me being an honest fan, I would try to finesse my way somehow, some way to pay Foye. Even if we had to lose Keanu Neal. As much as I love Keanu Neal, he's not the player that Foye or Lil Khan is. I'm sorry. I love Keanu Neal, but because of his injured history, I'm trying to do everything I can to pay Foye or Lil Khan, and I'm trying to keep like a Bobby Wagner. And what's the other guy that play next to Bobby Wagner over there in Seattle that they kept up? KJ Wright. I'm trying to keep that pairing together as long as I can. So this year I'm going all in. I'm calling Foye as soon as we can start bringing guys in for new contracts. He the first person on the list we call it. When midnight hit, 12:01 hit, and we can pick that phone up. He the first person I'm calling. Like, look, get your agent on the phone. You come in immediately. We trying to get you signed. What you want? Like, I'm trying to do everything I can. We rolling out the red carpet. We doing everything we can, but we don't want this dude to hit the open market, because we see he hasn't even reached his ceiling yet. And to me, he got snubbed for the Pro Bowl this year. Like, this dude has so, and I really believe what Coach Lowe was saying, and me and Mike been talking about this for a long time. We need to go to the 3-4. We need to go to the 3-4. We need to use these athletic linebackers. As Coach Lowe said, he always talks about violent hands. And Foye loves contact. If y'all notice, he loves contact. So you put him on the outside and let him become a rusher, kind of like a TJ Watt. I think he has it in him. He could easily get double-digit sacks in the season, because he's that athletic and he's not afraid of contact. Like a lot of these guys, like a Deion Jones, he's not a guy you can put on the edge because he doesn't have the size. But Foye, honestly, he'll run through running backs. So
You can get more out of Dante Fowler. You can get more out of Fowler. You can move him around the line, being that he's he's an undersized defensive end. You can move him around. So that's like that linebacker crew.
That's the other outside linebacker right there.
Y'all know who our defense remind me of, though? Our defense reminds me a lot of LA, the LA Rams. We always talk about Aaron Donald. We talk about Grady Jarrett. But on the outside,
I want to say this right quick.
Go ahead.
Let me say this real quick. I'm glad you say that because the Falcons are actually looking into. I don't know if you guys heard the news today, but they're looking into their defensive coordinator, who runs a similar. He has a similar personnel. That he has a young corner. He has a stud at defensive end, defensive lineman, depending on where you want to put them, and you have linebackers who are athletic and a high pick. That's something. You go to a 3-4, you're talking about a completely different type of team with a defensive guru or a young defensive guru. This guy is definitely, I've checked him out. He's definitely the real deal.
Oh, yeah. And go ahead, Kstylz. Go ahead.
Oh, I was about to get to a couple more of these super chats coming in. Anthony Jones here with the $10. What's going on? $10. He said, I hope we get Patrick Surtain Jr. with that 4th pick and draft a quarterback later in the round and have him sit and learn under ice. Lord have mercy, drafting Fields, we get a right-handed, shorter Michael Vick. We know he's taller, but we get what he's saying. He's
right. He's just as inaccurate as Michael Vick. He absolutely right about that. He is Michael Vick. That's exactly what he is.
And here's another one right here. New dropped another one, $5. He said, I believe him getting Pro Bowl snub gave Atlanta a slight leverage in negotiating this offseason.
Oh, you know what? That I did not think about it. I'm glad
that is true. That is true.
Yeah, man. He don't know his worth. He might not know his worth yet. So, hey, I'm trying to finesse that thing. If we the Falcons, hey, we got to keep all our assets. We don't got money, so that means we can't afford it for good players to be walking out that door. We got to do everything we can to retain, what we have. But kind of backtracking to what me and Mike was talking about, the LA Rams, I kind of just wanted to touch a little bit on Leonard Floyd. He was a guy that was in Chicago. Everybody was saying he was a bust. He played at Georgia, so a lot of you guys probably know Leonard Floyd, the defensive end. But he having a breakout season over there in LA because they're using him in the correct way. They're using him kind of how they use Dante Fowler, because Dante Fowler was over there playing that role. If you go look up Leonard Floyd's numbers, I think he has 10+ sacks this year. He's balling out over there because he has those guys in the inside. Michael Brockers and Aaron Donald, those guys are a problem on the inside. And he's better standing up. When he was with the Bears was trying to have him with his hand in the dirt. And that's not what he did best. At Georgia, that's not what he did best. So the Rams are using him kind of how he's supposed to be used, kind of like a Dante Fowler in that 2-point standing up. And that dude's balling out. Go watch some tape on him. The LA Rams, that defense is serious over there.
Oh, I got one question, too. So who's projected to get the number 1 overall pick this year? Jacksonville. They're supposed to be getting Urban Meyer, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So Justin Fields. So unless y'all willing to trade up to the number 1 overall spot, the Falcons are not getting Justin Fields.
Exactly.
Urban Meyer supposed to be the coach, and that's unless he don't lie about something. And
like I said, if he coaches Jacksonville, Justin Fields going number 1 overall. If he don't go to Jacksonville, Zach Wilson gonna be number 1 overall.
It says Shad Khan already bought a Trevor Lawrence jersey though. That's what I heard.
But have you noticed the Trevor Lawrence hype train died out after that game though?
Yeah.
I haven't heard nobody mention Trevor Lawrence since that game.
That's true.
That's because we prisoners of the moment, Kstylz. I remember the year before AJ Terrell came out. What everybody said about AJ Terrell when he got his draws burnt off against LSU. Oh man, he had a bad game. Jamar Chase
not ready for the NFL.
Yeah, everybody was talking all of that stuff, and AJ Terrell just came to the NFL and pretty much balled out this first year, been the best rookie corner. Everybody was talking about the kid out of Ohio State was going to be the best corner coming out. I forget the guy's name, and he's not even he was struggling.
Jeff Okuda.
Yeah, Jeff Okuda.
Okuda.
Nebraska, wasn't it? No, it was Ohio State. It was Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio State. Mm-hmm.
We got another $10 super chat right here. Anthony Jones coming with him. Said, proud of y'all fellas. Y'all have no egos. Y'all keep it real. I'm a Falcon fan since 95. I hope to start a podcast with my female cousin next season, so I hope to connect with y'all fellas.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Hey, go ahead and do your thing, bro. Shoot. We welcome everybody. Like I said, at the end of the day, hey, do what you got to do out here, because these fives ain't worth a damn for you no more. So
exactly.
So.
Right.
Man, you know what though? It's like y'all talking about AJ. This is from a coach to a player. Ondale Terrell Jr. Look at here, Bo. Whenever you come in on these tackles, you come in like a heat-seeking missile. Now, sometimes you don't pick the right side, but I want you to bring your arms when you come in with these tackles, Bo. Whenever you come in with these tackles, because I think AJ Terrell has the most overworked shoulder pads on the Atlanta Falcons roster.
Let me say this right quick. Anthony Jones, hit up Miss Maggie if you are really interested in just sitting down with us talking one day. Just hit up Miss Maggie right now on Instagram, or just email her at maggiet@atlantafalconsnation.com. All right. So that's anybody who decides that they want to come on, do a show.
Hold on, you got to hit the $5 one too. Jeremy Cole says unfair to Justin Fields. Vic was fighting dogs and losing his playbook.
I mean, we don't know that. That motherfucker couldn't even beat out Jake Fromm. So is it really unfair? You couldn't beat out Jake Fromm. Let's be real.
I say this: it's work ethic. It's work ethic. At the end of the day, if you got that work ethic, if you put in the work, you can be a great. You got to put the work in, point blank and period. At the end of the day, if you're not putting the work in, everybody has talent in the NFL. I believe Coach, if you ask Coach, any of those guys playing at those universities on scholarship, any of these guys in the pros and the NFL, all of these teams got talent. We've said it numerous times. It's about the work that you put in the film room. It's about the work you put in the weight room. And it's about becoming a pro, being a pro's pro. Putting in the work for your craft. If you don't put the work in, you can have all the God-given ability in the world. But look at all these guys: Vic Beasley, Pat McKinley. These dudes are cut up, got muscles, can do, can bench press. They can do it all, but they don't have the work ethic. Point blank in the period.
You're right about that, Jude. Because it's one of those. The fact of the matter is that you can have a player who's fast, big, and strong, showing flashes of doing certain things in certain situations. At the end of the day, the difference between a sweet tea and a twisted tea is what you do in your spare time. That sweet tea is cool and everything. And, you can be good and fast and strong and all that stuff. But whenever you have your spare time, what you're willing to do, to get to that other level, that determines how good that you can be.
All right. So what else we got? King Hodgley, he pretty much kind of agreed with everybody. This game should be proof that our offense doesn't need much help. It's more so play calling and defensive pass rush specifically.
Hey man, I'll be remiss not to talk about my boy Brian Hill. I know y'all seen Brian Hill today. He broke off a long run. Y'all know I'm gonna pick up Brian Hill. That's my guy, man. I'm not gonna let that slide. I seen the man catch a pass about 30 yards out of the backfield. I said, "Oh man, our guys can catch." I thought our running backs didn't have hands or something. Today they actually were making catches. Him, Ty Gurley was coming out the backfield. I'm like, look, where had this been all season?
They said Matt Ryan didn't like to check the ball down to it. All along, your coach wasn't calling plays. All along, your coach just wasn't calling plays. And Matt Ryan was checking it down all game long.
Who knew? Who knew these guys was explosive? Who knew these guys were explosive? B Hill, eight carries for 90 yards. Hey, I would have never known that these guys had that in it.
Bro, I didn't know we had a zone run play in the playbook, to be honest with you.
Man, that's the first time whenever they ran, and it's not because I've seen zone running plays like so far this season, but whenever he ran it to the right, I was like, well, wait a minute, we're running a zone run off tackle to the right, and it busted for a bit. I was like, why haven't the last time we done this? I don't know if y'all remember, it was like week 2 or 3. Brian Hill had like a 30-something yard touchdown.
Yeah.
Most of them were like 21s, 25s, 27s. But it's like we busted one out to the right. He was like 70-something yards. What in the world, bro?
That's it. That's like some offensive coaches it's just not patient enough. Sometimes you got to be patient as a coach to keep running that thing. Like you can't continue like just because you're not getting those big runs when you want to get them doesn't necessarily mean in time your running back is going to burst one, man. Like, and we see that with Brian Hill, man. If you keep giving him the ball in certain situations, one thing you got to work on is hands, man. I can't see another one of these dang fumbles over and over again. But if you keep giving him his opportunity, he's going to break one. And that's the same thing with Ito Smith. And right now, I think that was the perfect, if you look at the Falcons squad, Todd Gurley fixed perfectly with this running game. He fixed perfectly with this running game because he's a power guy. We've been needing the power guy, the end zone guy, even the guy that comes in and just be the pass protection. He's been doing pretty good, but we don't have an offensive coordinator to get the best out of him. That's it. Put these guys in position to succeed. Today we saw it. Every one of those guys played an intricate part, a good part in the game plan today. All the running backs. I have nothing negative to say about any of the running backs. They played excellent today.
Like I said, it was the game plan we was waiting to see all season consistently. Like I said, if you get those running backs involved in that passing game, they're gonna start running harder.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we saw. And just like with any wide receiver that you have on your team, you have to get him the ball to keep him engaged. And like I said, I talk about how soft Calvin Ridley's mentality is. Russell Gage is a dog.
Man.
I'd be worried about him sometimes. Like Lo said about AJ Terrell and how he hits, and he'd be worried about AJ Terrell hitting folks. I'd be worried about Russell Gage every time he catch the ball because this motherfucker damn near liable to get killed every game.
Dude, fearless, man.
But
Russell Gage,
like really, this dude is going to fight for every yard. Like I said, like I said, he don't do it all the time. But the thing is, at least he's moving forward. Hey, Coach, what do we say on the film game study Friday? You want your offensive linemen and your players going forward.
Yes. Everybody, you got 11 people on the field, and the goal is to go forward. So if the person with the ball is going backwards, that's disrespectful to all 52 people on the sideline. We've been practicing all week long to move forward. Then you get the ball and you scared of getting hit. So you're like, oh no, don't touch me. You running backwards. So until Calvin Ridley can figure this out, his new nickname is Freeze Tag. Until he can get this whole situation figured out, he's gonna call him Freeze Tag.
We'll call that motherfucker Laffy Taffy. That motherfucker. But like I said, you have to remember Russell Gage wasn't even expected to be on this team, so that's why he fights hard all the time.
Wow, he had 3 carries today? What in the hell? Wow, Ito only had 3 freaking carries. Man, look.
Hey, man. But
they were down 23-9, so they really couldn't run the ball like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was the fact that they was getting the ball out of Ryan's hands quickly. You saw Hayden Hurst with a couple good catches. You saw Stalker trying to act like a tight end on the sideline. I'm just surprised we ain't missed the best receiver on the team. The best receiver on the team didn't catch a pass this week. You know who that is?
Steve Smith.
Exactly.
Hey,
man, I'm
keep
glad
doing this thing, man. Keep you doing this thing in the flats. That's what keep getting that 7 yard and that 5 to 6 yards.
Hey, Quinn Willis there really does the cha-cha slide in reverse on every catch.
Hey man, but y'all know one thing though, and the thing that we talked about because I don't know if y'all remember, we did a show before the season. Wait, hold on, we got a super chat.
$9.99.
Last Johnson
to
the channel.
Man, but yeah, I don't know if y'all remember before the season started, we were all on the previous show before the season, and we were talking about the guys that we thought were going to make a big impact, and we were talking about Hayden Hurst. Now Hayden Hurst hasn't been used to his full potential, and this guy had 6 touchdowns this year.
6, that's crazy. He can be a touchdown machine, man, a red zone machine. We get a creative offensive mind. That dude is going to be a problem, man. He's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, William, man, I agree. Calvin really got to get better. But like I said, he's still young, but like I said, for him, it's not physically, it's mentally. Because if he wants to be the number one receiver, he's going to have to be more consistent in catches within the hashes and within the numbers.
Jake Matthews is so overpaid. Absolutely not. He's one of the best. I don't think you understand how difficult it is to play tackle in the league. These are some athletes, bro. These are some athletes. Blocking a guy like Dan Shaq Barrett coming off their edge and see how well you do. Von Miller. Come on, bro. Like that's not easy. That is not easy. Coach, look, he's a damn defensive line coach. That is not easy. That dude is one of the best.
You line up 9 inches away from somebody who's 265 pounds that run a 4.5 40 and a broad jump of 11 feet and with their hands going all over the place and you can't get your hands on them. And you tell me if it's easy. I think Jake Matthews does pretty doggone good. Like, let's be honest. How many sacks do we see on Matt Ryan whenever someone's coming from behind him? That's all you have to ask. Most of the time, the sacks from Matt Ryan is he's stepping up in the pocket and he just can't find people open. So, I mean, if it's a case where someone just comes around and just gets them, that's a situation where that's Jake Matthews' fault. Jake Matthews is just in a great situation. He's 6'7" and 300 and something pounds, and he can block, and he's just getting paid handsomely. Unfortunately, we weren't lucky enough to be in that situation.
Look, I'm about to say Ice Finesse basically agree with us and hit the nail on the question. He said you never hear about Jake Matthews, and that's a good thing.
That's a great thing.
Exactly. When you ain't hearing the person's name called, that means they balling out. The corners and the actual defense, offensive line. If you ain't hearing their name, that's for a good reason. And I think Jake Matthews has been doing this thing. I really feel like our problem is the guard spot. Like that's what we've had problems over the last couple of years, and that's what Coach Lowe was talking about. Matt Ryan, he loves to step up in the pocket and climb the pocket as you're supposed to do. That's textbook as a quarterback to climb the pocket. But a lot of the times that pressure is coming from the interior, and a lot of the times it's collapsing on him. If you look at a lot of the sacks Matt Ryan takes, he's trying to climb the pocket, but there's nowhere for him to step up into to make a throw. So that's why a lot of times he's bouncing outside trying to throw the ball. But a lot of the sacks that he takes, if you notice, it's the guard. Like last Sunday, you seen Chris Jones was giving us hell. Last Sunday, he was just coming right up the gut, pushing Hennessy on his butt, pushing what's the other guard? He was giving Gano a run for his money. They was going at it. Yeah, he was giving them all a run for their buddy, dog. Lindstrom, he was giving them all trouble. Like that's where we had the most problems, that interior. Ever since we lost Chris Chester and Levitre, when we had those guys, they were solid on the inside. But ever since we lost those two guards, we've been struggling. And that's when Matt Ryan has had those 40-plus sacks the last 3 seasons. It's like it's nowhere for him to climb the pocket and throw the ball. And that's what I was talking about with Tom Brady. If you notice the difference between the Bucs offensive line and our offensive line, we won't get no interior pressure. That's where quarterbacks, they hate interior pressure, right up the A gaps. That's the worst type of pressure you get that quick.
We heard Sue name a little bit too much the last couple of appearances against the Bucs, man. All we hear is Sue. That's it.
Yeah. When we talk about God, we really talking about James Carpenter ass. But like I said, hey, and Fire Falcon actually put this best right here. I think y'all will all agree with him on this one. Matt Hennessy played good today, much better than last week.
He did. He did. Now there was one time, like on the draw, he was playing pass. He just couldn't get his hands on the linebackers, and he was doing all this right here. But like he stepped up and he shielded them off. But hey, I mean he's definitely getting better, because I know Mike pointed it out last week. Like last week in the first half, like he was struggling, but like you could see him. Like you could see he was literally maturing before our eyes, man. So I don't think it's going to be that much of a drop off next year, you know, if he can continue to develop. Because we got to remember he's still young, and whenever I say young, it's not just mentally, but you know these kids, man, these kids, they still hadn't got what we call in the country old man strength, you know. So
not yet.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, for a lot of people that don't know what old man strength is that, you know, a lot of people are strong, you know, but that old man strength is more mechanical. It's more intentional. So like, you know, you see kids, you know, who are in their 20s, like they'll bench press 315, you know, they kind of struggle with it a little bit. That old man strength, he just throw it up, drop it back down, throw it back up. You know, so but once he gets that old man strength, that mechanical strength, he's gonna be a beast.
I want y'all to hit this one on down south Georgia boy. Did you see Oliver lay the wood on Fournette?
Ooh, yeah, I seen it.
Man.
I seen how he shot the gap. He shot that gap.
Free safety.
Safety, man. That boy absolutely needs to be a safety. He just doesn't have that athleticism, especially with his hips, to be a consistent corner. He did okay today. He actually did quite well playing on the outside and inside. They was moving him around a bit, and he actually did pretty well outside of one play, the one deep play. But outside of that, the man, like, he was balling, man.
Yeah, definitely. Make You Fumble have right here says you don't have to be a mobile quarterback to be a WB. Y'all spoiled with Lamar Jackson. WB. I guess basically said, you don't need a run. You don't need no mobile quarterback, which is true. You don't really need a, like I said. What I'm gonna ask y'all this question. What do you think will make a mobile quarterback successful? Is it so much of him being the 4.2 speed quarterback, or is it somebody that can kind of improvise and get out of trouble, like a Patrick Mahomes? Patrick Mahomes not really a scrambling quarterback.
Let me say this. A mobile quarterback gets you, it really does hinder your growth as a quarterback. Being a mobile quarterback, because you're so confident in your ability to make things play with your make plays with your legs, you're not worried about your progression as a quarterback. And this is why Patrick Mahomes, and this is why he is such a wonderful player right now, is because your boy Andy Reid slowed him down. He forced him, he slowed the game down to. He kind of dumbed the play calling down so he can slow down and read the defense. He did not. You come out right now, like I think it was last year where he said he still doesn't know how to truly read a defense completely.
Yeah.
Why? Because he slowed the game down for him.
Slowed it down.
That's what good coaches do. Slow it down. Give him little bit. And that's something that guys like, Dirk Cutter, they're impatient. Gotta be patient with these quarterbacks. Andy Reid is the most patient quarterback that I've ever seen, a quarterback coach that I've ever seen, because when he gets a quarterback, he sees any talent any amount of talent, guess what? This dude is going straight to the top. You see it with Donovan McNabb. You see it with Michael Vick. You see it with Patrick Mahomes. He is a quarterback whisperer. Why? Because he slows the game down for these quarterbacks.
I completely agree with what Mike was saying. Like, what I look for quarterbacks that are mobile, and why I love Russell Wilson so much is, do you keep your eyes down the field? Because a lot of the times guys will break open as you take off and run. Most of the time, them linebackers or whoever's in coverage, they're gonna pull up and try to come get the quarterback, and then you can just throw the ball right over their head. But a lot of the times, like when you got guys like Vic and stuff like that, they were just so confident in their ability to run that their head would be down. So they would take off running. It'll be a guy like we were talking about that'll break open 20 yards down the field, but because they're not even looking down the field at that point, they're looking at the rush, they just take off and start running. And that's what I love about Russell Wilson is most of the time when he breaks the pocket, he's not looking to run the ball. He breaks the pocket and stays behind the line of scrimmage and keeps his eyes down the field. And most of the time, if you watch Seattle play, that's when they get those big plays down the field. Where he's off script, he breaks out the pocket, and that's when you see Tyler Lockett start freestyling, break across the field, or you see DK Metcalf break across the field, and you'll see Russell Wilson on the run, throw the ball 50 yards down the field for a touchdown. So that's what I mainly focus on with mobile quarterbacks. Is your eye still down the field, or are you actually looking at the rush and looking at who's coming to get you? If you're looking at the rush, most of the time you're going to take off running. You're not going to actually look down the field. You're not going to be able to look down the field and see if somebody's broke open and be able to throw the ball down the field.
Yeah. My bad. Let me go ahead and get this comment out the way, because basically Nathan actually said exactly what I was going to say, because Jameis Winston was a mobile quarterback, right? Basically. So Dirk had Winston, a mobile quarterback, and he made Matt Ryan look mediocre. But, yeah, we see what a mobile quarterback does in this offense, too. It led to 30 for 30 season. So,
what if I told you? But I completely agree with what you're saying, dude, because whenever you have like a quarterback either break, contain, or extend that play longer than those 2 or 3 seconds, number one, I don't care if you're Deion Sanders, Rod Woodson, I don't care who you are. You ain't finna guard nobody for 5-6 seconds.
Exactly.
And then, if it's a case where someone's in zone coverage, they have to make a decision because they're in no man's land. If you get that quarterback breaks, contain, and he's out there, either he's going to have to come up or he's going to have to look back and try to find somebody to guard. And, it's never a beneficial situation. But it never fails, man. It's just like whenever the leaves fall in the autumn, and the same way money disappear in slot machines, these mobile quarterbacks, the ones that run too much, after a while they get folded. Origami. It happens every time. So you just want to make sure that you careful as a mobile quarterback not to run too much. Russell Wilson, I think he's the best at it because he picks and chooses his spots, but he keeps looking downfield to make those plays because you can get the ball downfield a lot faster throwing it than you can running.
And you know who's getting a lot better at it? And I think the league better watch out because when he gets full, when he gets it down packed, Lamar Holmes, but
how dare you?
Lamar Jackson, man, that dude, he's looking like he's starting to get it. He's not looking to run as much now. Today, all I saw was just exactly that, extending the play, just letting his receivers get deep, and he looked absolutely scared today, man.
Mm-hmm. Enjoy my world. What's going on, lady? How you doing? But yeah, like you said, eventually those scrambling quarterbacks that everybody like are going to have to stop scrambling because these guys are trying to prolong careers. So your first couple years, you can run for almost 1,000 yards every year. But once you get older, once that tape is out there, you're going to have to evolve as a passer.
Hey, man, it's just like Ty Gurley. It's like I talk about this all the time. After you get to those, or after you get to a certain level as a man, you realize you can't do the same things that you used to. So Ty Gurley, he's a great running back. You got to realize he's not able to tiptoe to the line like he used to. Le'Veon Bell's learning the same thing. You can't tiptoe to the line like you used to, and then accelerate and make people miss the same way. You got to change the way that you run the ball. And I mean, it's the same way like you were saying, Kstylz with quarterbacks. It's like you got to learn how to kind of evolve over time. Even Michael Vick did it whenever he got with Andy Reid in Philadelphia. We can't do the same things we did in our early to mid 20s when we were in our 30s. Our big low country is living proof of that. I can't do it. Walking around with a pull muscle right now because I tried to pick up a box of wood yesterday, making that brisket.
Boy, we old now, boy. We like Cat Williams said in his stand up, we crack ribs just sneezing. But okay, so Bruce Wayne asked, I think we should resign Neil, but should we resign Allen? And also, what do you guys think will happen with Sheffield and KZ? Allen is gone.
Unless he's holding the clipboard as a coach, he's gone.
He's gone.
Gone.
You need range at that free safety spot. There's no range back there at all.
None whatsoever. None. That dude looked absolutely atrocious today. Atrocious, man. Like he was late to everything, slow to everything. He's done, and I don't know if he has enough range to even play strong safety. That's how bad he looked today.
I think KZ could be a good safety if he ran the cover too most of the time. Like if he just worried about half the field,
yeah,
I think he would be competent. But once again, it depends on what coach we bring in and how we choose to play things. But I mean, whenever he ran that cover 3, he was just all over the place. Boy, he was.
I think it's just too much thinking involved with it, Coach Lowe. Like we were talking about with KZ, we play a lot of single high safety. So when you do that, you got to know what you're doing. Like if you remember, like Ed Reed and players like that, they could freestyle, but they knew what they were doing, and it was no second guess. It's like once I'm going this way, I'm going this way. If I get beat, I get beat. But I'm living on my own terms. You know what I'm saying? I'm going out on my own terms. To me, we don't have enough players like that. We have too many guys. Like we mentioned last year, we said it coming into this season, we got guys second guess. That's the reason why that guy went right across Deion Jones' face. And he's like, oh, that was my guy. Like, yeah, like you got to make a decision. You can't be standing in no man's land looking around. Like, you got to just do something. You know what I'm saying? We got too many players out there just trying to figure out. Because I don't know if you guys noticed on that play when Antonio Brown caught the touchdown, they had Scotty Miller in the back of the end zone wide open. Nobody was.
Yeah, Rico was just standing there. He was just standing there. I don't know what the hell he was doing today. He was just standing there. Just get him out of here. Just get him. Just go, Rico. Like he's done, bro. I've seen way too many plays today, and we've been seeing this pretty much all season. And I love Rico to death, but I'm tired of looking at him standing in the same spot. You know what I'm saying?
And I also had another question too. And this is pertaining to the defensive alignment. Rico, if you know Isaiah Osborne got the foot speed for Antonio Brown, why in the hell are you going the other way?
And that's why he got taken out of the game for Neesman. He was making bad decisions. He got benched. And I think something happened to I think he may have got a stinger or something. Keanu Neal. But he was out for a minute, and Rico, I don't know about Rico, man. He just needs to go. I feel bad for him. I like the guy, but he just doesn't have it. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's looking. I've never seen him look this bad this year. He's looked like this all year long. And this is not a one-game thing. He's been late to everything all year long.
The defense looked better especially these last few games when these
without him.
because he actually got the range.
Yeah.
He ain't got the experience, but he got the range.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, that's would y'all agree with me that with this cover 3 scheme, you need a free safety that can pretty much cover all of it.
You need a playmaker, dog. You need a playmaker. Period. If you're gonna have somebody playing that center field and they gotta be able to make wise decisions and they gotta be able to get from one hash to the other, you gotta have an explosive athlete, somebody that's aggressive, and somebody knows what they're doing. Somebody like a Buda Baker. Buda Baker with Arizona, that dude is everywhere. That dude's a Tasmanian devil.
I wanted him coming out of college, man. I was in love with that dude.
Y'all about to make me cry on live.
I was in love with Buda Baker, man.
I wanted Buda Baker just the name alone, but I haven't seen it.
Buddha, that stinking Buddha.
Buddha lover. But it like I said, I think they just held him on long enough to hopefully, because remember he still got Jalen Hawkins back there.
Mm-hmm.
So they might try him. They might try him out next year, see how he do.
I like Hawkins because he has size. Like to me, I'm like, I don't want no more miniature players.
Nah,
you got them, man. Give me somebody big that can hit, that is gonna make people think twice. So another thing about Rico Allen, I love the guy. He's like the little engine that could, But I'm tired of after I seen Casey get trucked by Zeke Elliott in week 2. I'm like, I'm good with that. Give me somebody big. And Jalen Hawkins, he seemed like he got that size. He can bring that pad level down. Because we got too many safeties that's too little. These little guys, they getting trucked. We got too many converted corners playing safety. Give me somebody that got some size, dog, that can bring that wood.
Well, I tell you what, let me ask y'all about this one right here, because y'all talking about having somebody with, a lot of speed and someone who's smart enough to play that safety position. Since you brought up, you tired of having cornerbacks converted to safety. Somebody brought up Bleedy Ray Wilson to me yesterday. Playing safety.
I love Bleedy, but one thing I like about Bleedy, it seems like he's always in the right place at the right time. I don't know if you guys remember with the Saints and the Panthers, a guy named Roman Harper, a player named Roman Harper. He wasn't athletic at all. If you go back and look at his tape, he was older. I think he was playing with Carolina the year they had that 15-1 season. If you go look at his tape, he wasn't athletic, but he was a veteran. He had been around the league. He knew where to be. He was always in the right position. And I think that's key too. If you're in the right position, I think Bleedy could play the position because he has the smarts. He'll be in the right places at the right time. I don't know if he plays just based off of that. Like, I don't know his ball skills. He's come up with some interceptions this year, though. I mean, when they throw him in the game, he always around the football somehow, some way. So put him, further back out there. I don't know if I want him playing center field. I feel like what you were saying, Coach Lowe, we need to play more cover 2 with 2 high safeties. I don't believe a lot in this one single high safety unless you got a supreme athlete, like somebody like the Honey Badger that's actually making plays and that can run. That's a Tasmanian devil. They can run crazy. But other than that, I feel like we need to do just like what the Saints are doing. If you watch what the Saints are doing this year, they playing a lot of, when we played them, they played a lot of 2-man, 2 high safeties because they knew we weren't going to run the football. So,
Hey, so I'm about to say, I actually have an exclusive. This is gonna be the new nickname for Ricardo Allen. I got his picture up. Y'all ready for Ricardo Allen to make his debut on the show?
Look, there you go. The little internet could, dog.
Oh, internet could.
Every time you turn around, they still is sitting in the same spot too.
Man, ain't never left the train station.
Ain't never left the train station. In the same
Won't never leave the track. Notice he's on the railroad tracks. If you go anywhere else, he ain't gonna get there.
Track rusty as hell.
So you're gonna be late. You're gonna miss your next train stop. You're gonna be late every time.
Exactly. Boy, I'm about to say you can't let him be your Uber driver, boy. Y'all be mad as hell.
I want to say this too about Treadwell, man. today I just saw another dimension to the offense with him on because he was more physical. Yeah. He on that block on that run from Brian Hill, he actually sprung him loose with just his physicality, man. Like him, and he just brings. I think we really need to play him a lot more, and that's.
What's that? Talk about that all the time.
Yeah,
Drew talk about that all the time. That's why he was mad that we let Sanu go, because that's how you bust them big plays. That wide receiver blocking. That's why Drew's on the coaching staff. See, that wide receiver blocking down the field, man. He did it perfectly. He sealed them off, turned his back to him, everything. I was like, wow, that was a great block. And that's another thing that I've noticed from Calvin Ridley. He's not the most.
He ain't blocking nobody.
Yeah, he's not the most eager to block.
Nah, he like in all honesty, Calvin Ridley is a slot receiver at best.
Yes,
it's gonna keep him.
Yeah,
love the guy, but I saw like I said, you said he had sprung him on that 70-yard pass. I was talking about that block he had on that screen pass.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, I wish we saw more Treadwell as well, because I think that's what this offense is missing too, as far as, especially like with the game plan, you needed some more big body receivers out there.
You got it, Kstylz. That's what I was talking about against New Orleans. When they was bullying us, playing at 2-man, and it was pressing up, we needed somebody like a Sanu that's not afraid to go across the middle. Because if you watch Treadwell, the touchdowns that he had against the LA Chargers, I think was his first touchdown. Mm-hmm. He knows how to body up on guys like a tight end. That's all Mohamed Sanu would do. Mohamed Sanu won't run past nobody, but he knew how to body up, and he was that possession receiver. And to me, the guys that we played this year, we had Brian Powell playing a lot early in the season, or Brandon Powell, excuse me. Then we had all these little, quick twitch guys. Russell Gage, these guys are smaller, wide receivers. We really didn't have that big body. When Julio Jones is out of the game, we really don't have that dominant big wide receiver that can just body up on somebody and just manhandle them. You know what I'm saying? We don't really have that. Even in the running game, like we run it while we can't run to the outside, but think about it. Who's Brandon Powell and these little dudes gonna actually block, consistently? But when you got Julio out there, we seen Julio goddamn gonna come down on Trey Hendrickson and push him.
Well, not push him with one arm. He pushed that man with one arm.
Exactly. I see Julio get a lot of Rudy Tooty fresh and fruities over there. he gets a lot of pancakes.
Y'all don't know what that means. He got some pancakes out there. But yeah, like I said, and I know we talked about Sanu and how them cutting them was good for this team as far as getting the young receivers involved. But that's one of the aspects of the running game we don't talk about, these wide receivers outside blocking. And you got to have physicality out there. Like Russell Gage, like I say about Russell Gage is not going to wow you as far as speed and route running and stuff like that. But he does a lot of the dirty work as far as how these wide receivers are right now. Outside of Julio, Russell does most of the dirty work.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, really, most of his routes are good for is close to the sideline because he know he ain't been to get hit like that.
Whenever he caught that slant pass, you remember that we broke down in our film study, Kstylz. We believe it was an RPO, that 3-step slant. He caught it over the middle. I mean, he could have taken it to the house. I think that the defense was just surprised he ran across the middle.
I think so too. They looked at each other like, really? Did this dude?
And he still didn't score. He still ran sideways. Everybody ran sideways. Like, you scared to get hit from behind? Keep running. Like, what they gonna do? Grab your ankles?
bro, this dude literally, this goofy motherfucker literally, instead of just going straight for the touchdown, he brought all 4 defenders back into play.
Sideways syndrome. That boy ran to the sideline.
Sideways Central.
All right, so we got another $5 super chat. New drop coming in with him today, man. Hey, he gonna win the MVP today. He said, so if you guys get a call from Ridley in the offseason, is he off the table? Is he available, especially with Gage shining? No, he's not going to be on the table. I think what they're going to try to do with it is they're going to see how far he can get, because we also have to remember as well, this is actually the first season Calvin Ridley has played all 16 games. We have to remember that.
I will say this about Calvin Ridley. I would see what they're offering before I give him a max contract, because I don't think he's one of those physical receivers that you're going to need over the long haul of the season. He doesn't like physicality. You still need a physical receiver. So you're going to need that Muhammad Sanu. You're going to have those receivers around him that make up for the things that he doesn't do. So it's like I would definitely field offers. I wouldn't necessarily trade them unless it's one of those deals where you're just like, okay, I love you really, but they offer me two first-round picks and a third, something like that. I would definitely hear that, because the Falcons are dealing with a situation where they don't have a lot of money. They're going to have to pay for you. They're going to have to pay Hayden Hurst. They're going to have to pay Calvin Ridley. Somebody is not going to get paid. It's really that simple. So I would field the offers to see what they offer, but he by no means we can't look at him as Julio. Julio is only one Julio. There's only one Larry Fitzgerald. So we can't say that he is in the first round, one of those go-to receivers, a great receiver, but he's a very good receiver. So I would field offers. I definitely wouldn't trade him, unless that offer is just too good to be true. I'm keeping them.
I got corrected. Calvin Ridley missed a couple games too, so don't mind. I said my bad. Hey, I'm still learning all kinds of things. I was trying to give him the benefit.
Hey, man.
Hey, and the thing is that it's one of those cases where everybody's talking about really, I made that observation, a while back, saying that he tries to initiate contact on his own terms. This is something that a coach can help him out on. Those are things that coaches, help players. We always talk about that soft mentality and everything. Just like y'all were saying earlier, a lot of times it comes down to heart. Like we seen Sanu get his helmet cracked before. He gets up screaming. He loves it. Never Sanu start doing this right here, ain't no telling what he's saying. But you can tell he loves it. Whenever he starts his head going up and down like that, like he loves it. But really, he's not that kind of guy. So you got two different kind of guys that play football. You got the ones that love it and love that contact, and then you just got those ones that are good at it. So but if you get a coach that tries to teach him how to be comfortable, we're taking big hits and make sure that he continues to get yardage, because if we wouldn't have got a touchdown last week, whenever he had nobody in front of him, I was going to go off. Like my blood pressure was rising whenever that happened. But yeah, I mean, that's something that the new coach definitely can help him on. And this is another situation where our coaches failed our players, because he should know that by now.
Exactly. My biggest problem with Coach Lowe too is like I've seen receivers like in New England, especially because they ran a lot of slants with smaller guys. My biggest problem with Calvin Ridley is like, just get down. Don't run backwards. That's what my problem is. It ain't even that he don't want to necessarily take a hit. My thing is, if you don't come across the middle and you get that quick slant, protect yourself and get down. Just get down. Don't run backwards. That's where he goes wrong. He just runs straight backwards. The line to be here, he'll start running sideways instead of just catch the ball and just go down. If you don't want to get hit, go down where you at.
That's coaching. If you're not teaching the guy how to protect themselves, like that's you failing as a coach, man. He should know how to do that. He should know how to do that by now.
So do you think the coaches work more so with Gage on that aspect than Ridley?
I think they focus on route running. You can tell that they only focus on route running and not protecting themselves and the fundamentals. You can tell just by how the lack of blocking from Gage. You don't see Gage putting down. He big blocks. He's all these guys just route running. You can just tell by the lack of physicality. That's all they care about is route running, and that's actually I think that goes into the offensive coordinator Dirk Cutter. If that's something that he, you look at a guy like Gary Kubiak, his receivers are going to have to learn how to block. You're not playing in his offense if you don't know how to block. So that right there, tell me that's all offensive coordinator. If your wide receivers aren't laying down these crackback blocks, so like Julio, you can tell that he's been trained previously.
Yes.
His physicality. Like you said, you've seen several plays this last week. Like he put Trey Hendricks on it last week, a couple of weeks ago. He just put him on his ass. That's something that he's been working on. They don't work on this type of stuff.
And yes, J Rock, I'm finna do it. Yeah, like I said, this the last Falcon show. Yes, former friend, we are talking to Yo Punk.
Hey man, I hope I never see that dude ever again, man. I just don't want to see him ever.
If all the new people, this is Dirk Cutter while we overalls, whistle, badass accent, all that shit. Yeah, that's him.
Now, enjoy my world. She wanted to know what are our thoughts on Oliver and Judge, and
enjoy my world.
Y'all think really will ever be a number one wide receiver?
He is. I'm comparing. He is a number one. I'm saying we got to stop comparing him to Julio Jones because there's only one Julio Jones.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He has to learn how to protect himself better and the fundamentals of being a wide receiver, because being a wide receiver, you got to do the small things. You got to do these small things like a Larry Fitzgerald, knowing when to take a hit and get that extra yard. He doesn't know how to do that yet. And that right there goes on the coaching.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ju? What do you think about the Oliver and Judge question?
Is she referring to Isaiah Oliver?
Yeah, I think so. And
Judge,
Isaiah
Oliver, to me, I would like to see what he could do at safety, because he's like, when I was talking about those small corners, he's not little like Rico Allen. I think Oliver was like a big corner. That's the reason why Dan Quinn wanted him. I think he's like 6'1", so he's not a little dude. One thing I like about Isaiah Oliver too, he's physical. When you can come downhill and hit a running back the way he hit Leonard Fournette ain't no little.
Leonard Fournette is not small. That is not a small dude.
For him to shoot that gap, he shot that gap like he was a linebacker. Like, I'm coming to get something. And he got him down by himself. Like, if you see a lot of the tackles that Oliver get, like when we do those third downs where it's like 3rd and 15, we back everybody up. If you notice, Oliver's usually the one making those tackles. When they moved him into the inside, that dude is a heat-seeking missile. And that's why I say he reminds me of Brian Poole, because when Brian Poole was here, if y'all remember, I was like, he just a baby linebacker. That dude, Brian Poole, was not afraid to hit nobody. That dude was physical, period. He wanted the best in coverage, but he was perfect for our zone scheme because he was able to tackle in space. And that's something that Isaiah Oliver does very well. Like, he's good at one-on-one tackles. And if you remember when Dan Quinn was here, when he moved Rico Allen back to the safety, he used to call Rico Allen the best tackler on the team. He said that's the reason why he moved him back there. So I think Oliver would flourish in that position, especially when he comes down in the box, because he's good at tackling guys in space. He's not the best in covering guys, like quick twitch guys. If you put him back there at safety, I think he would do good. I think he would be pretty good.
Let me add something else to it. I think another thing, the reason why the defense has gotten a lot better, because nowadays in this current NFL, you have to have a corner that can tackle to take away that stretch zone play. If you take away that play in the NFL right now, you dumb down one's play calling, and having a guy in the slot at safety, both safety position and in the slot, you have only a select few plays that you can call being that you have a guy like Isaiah Oliver and Brian Poole in that position. A lot of people are not going to run at Brian Poole. A lot of people are not going to run at Isaiah Oliver. Why? Because you're going to have to either widen it or run directly into the linebackers. And not everybody want to run into a Fourier and Deion Jones. And they damn sure don't want to go too wide because you're going to run into Keanu Neal. So you're going to run certain plays. So I think you got something there. I think you really do have something there as far as like putting Isaiah Oliver in that safety position.
Y'all want me to take a crack at this?
Go ahead and break it
Yes,
down.
Right.
Break it.
Isaiah Oliver, like I said, we like I said, from the beginning of the season, we had a whole award for this guy because he played that.
Mm-hmm.
Which I really haven't used in a while. But like I said, Isaiah Oliver, to me, like I said, that slot corner, yeah, that was the best thing that could have happened for him. Because it's like I said, you take away from him relying on the free safeties all the time. Rico can't cover worth a damn, and KZ can't either. Let's just be real. But I have a question for y'all too. So let's say, just in case if they don't re-sign Neal and let him walk, would it be a good idea to put Isaiah Oliver at strong safety? Or that kind of like
yeah, you be kind of pushing it with that one.
Yeah, I want a more physical guy that's strong safety. I need strong safety to me. Like when I think strong safety, and I might be dreaming, but when I think strong safety, I think Cam Chancellor. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Like somebody that's physical, that's gonna lay the hammer on you. I think John Lynch. I think somebody that's like you afraid of. Like if I come across this middle, I know I'm gonna have to deal with this guy. I think Jamal Adams. Like I think physicality when I think strong safety. That's what I'll say.
Taylor. Yeah. I think Isaiah Oliver, he had to eat a few more grits, before we will put him in that strong safety spot because
be crazy too. You got to be crazy as hell to play that strong safety. Keanu ain't got it all up. You can look in his eyes and say he ain't got it all.
Yeah, you can tell. Yeah, you can tell Keanu. You can tell he throw it off a little bit. Like, nobody be hitting their helmet like that.
That dude kind of off, bro. That dude is definitely off.
But yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't think I would put him at strong safety unless we were just in a bind. I would put Jalen Hawkins at strong safety before. I would.
Yeah, because the only reason why I made that kind of suggestion is I know we talk about he doesn't really have the best foot speed,
right?
But like I said, like he's like good in like little confined spaces, and like he can tackle. I know like with Kiki is the he's the click clack guy of the defense. I know that you definitely need one of those. But I'm just saying as far as if they don't resign him. Because like you said,
I'm scared of that dude, man. I'm scared of that dude. That's one dude you can just, like I said, you can look at his eyes and tell he ain't got it all. That dude will run into a wall and won't care. He will not care. I'm good.
Keanu Neal is liable to knock himself out of the game. That's how Keanu Neal. He one of those. That's what I want out of my. I want that out of my safety. How many times have we seen Keanu Neal knock his own play out the game?
Knock his out, yeah, man.
At least 6 times this year.
Yeah.
But just on the second half of her question about will really ever be a number one, yes, like I said, his game he has to expand his range as far as being a receiver, not just route running and catching the ball. Right. He has to know how to block. He has, like I say, to know how to run routes and spaces to where he can get other guys open as well. He just can't be in the sideline running flag routes and outside hitches all game.
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all talk about like the mentality of that strong safety. whenever I was coaching football, I don't know if y'all know, like there's a drill that you go through where you have like the thing that's probably about 3 feet off the ground with the bars, make sure that people stay low. So so I had guys shooting the gap, through that, make sure that they stay low, keep that low center of gravity, right? So I had this kid, real passionate kid and everything. Luckily they had the helmets on, thank God, because I hate to know what would have happened. But this kid, he never would stay low. So after practice, I had him shooting the gap, come through, chopping his feet and shoot the gap coming through. He came through that one time and his helmet was high. You already know. That kid came through that one time, his helmet was high. He tore that thing up. Boom! Then you heard the bar go, the bar went. so it knocked him slap out, right? It knocked him slap out. He woke up about 5 minutes later. I was worried about him. He woke up. I said, "Hey man, you okay? You knocked yourself out." He said, "Oh man, what happened?" I said, "Yeah, you hit one of the bars." I said, "You were shooting it though. You were going fast." And guess what? This kid looked me in my eyes and said to me. This kid said, "Well, did I bend the bar, coach?" I said, "Hey, coach, we got a strong safety."
You got to be thrown off. You got to be thrown off, man. Any coach will tell you that. You got to be thrown off in certain positions, man.
Okay. Yeah, because I was only thinking because it might free up a couple more spots or something like that. It's just an idea. So, hey, fuck it. It's all good. I want to hit this one up here. Jordan Daniel said we got to draft at least 2 defensive linemen at least. Our secondary ain't going to have a chance anyway. Yes, we need defensive ends. Not outside linebackers and converting them to ends. We need ends. They can't be 230 pounds and you try to go against 300-pound tackles. We've seen it too much for the last 5-6 years. We need some
I actually totally agree with that because I've liked what I've seen from Stephen Means, man. His size and his physicality is exactly what we need. He just doesn't have the athleticism. So I totally agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Every time we see Stephen Means, he's celebrating somebody else's damn sack.
That's the thing. He just doesn't. He's always in the right place. He just don't have the athleticism.
Hey, he the Walton Peter Man of the Year for a reason, though.
Wallace sack, he jumped up into his back like he was a goddamn horse or something. I'm like,
yeah.
Get your hands off of him.
Oh, what? Yeah.
I'm like, man, this dude gonna hurt Dante Fowler celebrating. That's why I
was like, he's gonna knock Dante Fowler helmet off, and we're gonna get a flag like last time.
I'll be scared for Stephen Means because I know he's happy for everybody else. I feel like he's gonna end up in the Stephen Tollett walk of chain celebrating. I don't know if anybody remembers Stephen Tollett. This dude got a sack.
I do.
I'm talking about the people in the chat. They might not know Stephen Tollett. This dude literally got a sack celebrating towards ACL during the celebration.
Hey, man. Yeah. Oh, my God. That was –
man.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, Falcons need some bookends. Like I said, you actually have a couple of them now in commit. If y'all fully commit to Comiskey as a defensive end,
he's done a great job. He's done a great job.
Patrick Kearney, man. That's Patrick Kearney. I keep saying, put that guy out there. You need some guys with some long arms. Coach Law always talking about have active hands. But if your arm's short, most of them guys is playing on that outside, them right and left tackles, them guys are tall and long arms. So unless you Elvis Dumerville, like he was like one of the smallest like pass rushers I actually seen that knew how to dip his shoulder and get around those long arm right and left tackles. But most of the time, you undersized and little, man, they're gonna throw you out the club.
That dude was 5'10", 240 pounds. Hell, he could dip under any goddamn offensive line.
That boy, boy.
He get back there though. Yeah,
he get back there. I ain't even gonna lie. He'll hit that goddamn swim dip move on your head.
Hey, You look at Grady, he's like a short, stubby kind of dude. That's why he fell so far.
He's 6 feet. He barely 6 feet.
But Grady, the first guy or one of the first two guys that I seen play linebacker from the defensive tackle position because he's legitimate to do this right here and go past somebody.
That's it.
But like I said, Grady needs help.
Yeah. Yes.
He needs help. They need a cleanup guy. Like I said, Kaminsky could be that cleanup guy, but he has to get more snaps.
Yeah.
I still believe they need what I've seen today. I think they have enough on the defensive as defensive ends, but I still think they need another running mate to go besides Grady Jarrett, man. Like something is telling me, yeah, I'm cool with a defensive end, but he needs help with that defensive tackle position because we saw today that it was nothing when he went out. It was absolutely nothing coming from that defensive tackle position. We need to address that position
because only thing Tyler Davidson is good for is just standing there.
That's it.
What he's good for.
That's it.
He's space eater. Yeah.
And I said, if you're not running a 3-4, Tyler Davidson is not the defensive tackle you need.
Yeah. Now, did Dedrick get any run time?
No. Dedrick ain't get none either.
Inactive.
Of course, yeah. Of course, with the equipment. Of course, with the equipment manager Quadri Olison, yes, it was inactive too.
Why did they ruin this man's career? Like, if y'all wasn't going, why the hell y'all draft this man if y'all wasn't going to use him? What the hell, bro? That pisses me. That really pisses me off the way y'all doing this kid like that. If you wasn't going to use him, why draft him? Like, seriously, bro.
Mike, we did 3 players like that, man, and probably many more. We did the same thing to Jordan Miller. We did the same exact thing to Quadri Olison. Like we say, we don't have no physical running backs. We want to have Ito blocking everybody, but we got a great, we got a big back in Quadri Olison. We brought him to have that guy that can be physical and we can bring in. Like we seen last year when we used him on the goal line, that dude was like unstoppable. He was like Turner to Burner Jr. Every time we handed the ball to 30 on the goal line, that man was scoring 1-2 yard touchdown.
Yeah.
That's man he needs to field, dog.
Instead, we give it to Keith Smith this short yardage situation.
Exactly.
Nah, Matt Ryan said forget all that. Matt Ryan said, I'm doing it today. Matt Ryan went in, he plunged in for a 1 yard. I'm tired of this, dog. Just give me the ball, dog. Just give me the ball.
Hey, y'all ever seen a penguin dive in the water? That's how Matt Ryan.
Man, I remember one time Ito Smith was pass blocking for Matt Ryan, and the defensive end, shrugged them off. And because right now during COVID, you can pretty much hear everything the player's saying. I could have swore I heard that guy said, "Who threw that piece of paper at me?" Wow.
Man.
Oh, no. Yeah. Like I said, but that also comes with the nature of what this team needs, though. You got to be physical. Don't know. Oh, at every position you have to be physical.
And Jamel said they don't think Ridley's ready for that number 1 spot. Jamel, I think you're being spoiled by Julio Jones. Like, this is the first time we've seen a guy like Julio. And, if you have an older brother, your older brother's a millionaire and drives a Rolls Royce and Phantoms and everything like that, and you're over here making $200,000 a year, don't feel bad about yourself. You still do. You still doing good for you.
We've never seen a receiver like that. We've never in the history of the game saw an animal like this dude can. I've seen him run over and run through linebackers, safeties. Don't matter who you put it at. Julio is an absolute beast. So you can't compare Calvin Ridley to Julio because, like I said, it's not fair to Calvin because, like I said, man, we go from Roddy. We've been spoiled as an organization for receivers, man. We've had some great receivers, a great tight end, and Tony Gonzalez, a great quarterback in Matt Ryan. Most exciting I think the most exciting quarterback I've ever seen in the history of the game, and Michael Vick. We've been spoiled, so we gotta stop with these unrealistic expectations for players, man.
Even centers, Mike. We had some of the greatest centers play too. Todd McClure was a great center, and then go to Alex Mack. So Hennessy got some big shoes to fill, dog.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we spoiled. We spoiled, man.
But that's the reason why I'm glad they didn't trade Alex Mack during the trade deadline, like everybody wanted them to. Like I said, he still needed some of that mentorship right there. He needed some of that right there, put in his brain. So I think we'd be good right there. But James Carpenter's ass need to go.
Hey, I was preaching that since last season. He should have left out the door with DeMond Brown.
Hey,
DeMond Brown both should have been gone.
His ass need to go. that left guard spot needs some help because, bro, in the last 4 games, I done seen 4 different linemen in that spot. Everything else has been solidified.
Thank you. We got new subscribers. Thank you. What, Tampa Supreme? Whoa, man. Good. Thank you. Good gracious. I like that, man.
We appreciate it.
Tampa.
I got a question for the chat too. Question for y'all. So at that left guard spot, what do y'all feel about Matt Gono? He played last week. What do y'all think about him possibly trying to be the permanent guard?
I think he should. I told you that's my favorite player on the team right now.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think he's perfect for that position, to be honest. Even if you want to put him at right guard and move Chris over, because Chris, like, he has some technical things to kind of work through in the offseason, but he can move over to left. He can move over to left guard. So, like, even Chris Lindstrom, man, he has enough athleticism. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he has played left guard before, so it wouldn't be a foreign concept for him. Like I said, he just has to clean up some technical issues. He'll just clean up some technical issues and footwork in the off season. That'd be nothing for him. But yeah, outside of that, yeah, he would just have. I think that'd be a good idea to have Gono and Chris Lindstrom switch, if not, if need be.
And well, you know what though, because I really like Gono being that, because you have swing tackles. This dude is literally a swing offensive lineman because he done played every position for us.
Right.
But I'm not opposed to the fact though letting Caleb McGarry play that left guard position, because I've been watching him, his footwork as far as like kicking back on those passing plays. I watch him in those passing plays, and I watch him on the running plays. He's so much better run blocking. I believe he'll do better in a smaller space in the interior, and us getting even Gono playing right tackle, because Gono held his own. He played right tackle. I mean, either way, I definitely think Gono to be around for a while. I really like him.
Well, remember, Gono held Joey Bosa to 1 tackle and had him playing in 2-point stance, which he doesn't do.
Yep.
Yeah.
But before we get to you, Drew, I want to get to this $5 super chat right here by Reggie. He said, the Falcons will get calls for Julio's. What would be an acceptable offer?
Hold up. We got to make sure I cleaned it. I got to clean it up again. We got to make sure you understand this. It is possible for the Falcons to trade. It's not impossible for them to trade Julio Jones, but there's a major snag in that. And that snag is, he won't cost a lot against the salary cap, but the Falcons would still be on the hook to pay Julio Jones the remainder of his guaranteed money. So he will essentially be paying him to play for another team. I'm just going to be real. For me personally, I'm not paying no other guy to play for another team. I'm not doing that. We got to pay Fourier. We got to find some way to pay Fourier. We got to find a way to we're going to get Calvin Ridley his money. You got Hayden Hurst. Ito Smith may not still be with the team. He's another guy you're going to have to pay eventually. And Caleb McGarry, they got 2 or 3 years left on their deal. Yeah, I think 3 years left on that deal. At some point in time, you might want to pay them early. It's quite possibly that you may want to pay them early. So that's a lot of money, 2-3 years down the road, you still going to be paying Julio Jones. So it's like, is that really worth it?
And then you were talking about that. Yeah, yeah, you're definitely right because I know I'm not paying somebody to play somewhere else. Yeah, so I definitely don't unless they just it's a sign and trade kind of deal. Like y'all gonna take this money, y'all finna take this contract with them. I mean that's one of the only ways I do it.
Bro, we are still paying Jamon Brown right now. So,
bro, that's what I'm talking about. Devontae Freeman also. Come on, bro. Freeman.
Don't fly. Get it.
But go ahead, Ju. What was you about to say?
Nah, I'm with y'all. Like, no way I'm paying Julio to play somewhere else. And we've seen like Julio. We need him around to continue to mentor these guys that we got on this team. Like he's that physical specimen at that wide receiver spot. And when Julio's right, we know Julio is a generational type talent. Like the God-given abilities that Julio has, not many people walking this earth have. So, I mean, I don't think the Detroit Lions were saying, hey, man, we could probably get rid of Megatron. Like, that's not a good idea. Like, if he's still in this prime and he's still doing this thing, it's one thing if Julio still has these lingering issues as far as injury next season, then at that point, he probably won't have that trade value. So if we know something that they might not know, or we can try to, get over on somebody, kind of how we did with Sanu when we fleeced the Patriots to take Mohamed Sanu for that second round pick, unless we're doing something like that because we know something that nobody else knows about Julio Jones, like health. I don't want to see Julio Jones putting on another uniform unless he retires. I want him to be a Falcon the rest of his career because he hasn't shown me any signs of slowing down. Like when he was healthy, he was balling. So I don't see a reason why you would want to get rid of Julio. And I made my video on my channel. You guys check it out on Jew Talk Sports where I talked about I don't want to see what happened to Roddy White happen to Julio Jones. Like I don't want us to be known as one of those franchises where we have players that's been loyal to us and then we just ship these guys out and we don't let these guys retire on their own terms. Like the way that the Arizona Cardinals went about it.
Yes, I knew you was going there.
Yeah, the way that Larry Fitzgerald, the way that the Cardinals have went about it, that's the way you do it. When somebody's giving you their career, giving you all of these seasons of 300-yard games, like how many tickets and jersey sales and all this stuff, like other than football, that Julio Jones had done for the city of Atlanta and done for Arthur Blank and the owners in the front office. Like it'll be a slap in his face if we just say, hey, we're gonna just get rid of you, dog, for a bag of chips. Like, come on, man. Like this dude did all of this for the franchise. Like at this point, we owe this man. Like he's got us to a Super Bowl. As much as y'all might say we lost it, look, he got us there. All of them season ticket holders, there's some people that literally go to the game just for Julio. Yeah, just to see him. He's box office. He's that type of player. He's like your LeBron. He's like your James Harden, where players get so starstruck when they see Julio, they come to the game just to see that guy. Even when we losing, the only reason they come into the game is
we got people coming to Falcon game to see Michael Vick, and he ain't played in 13 years.
That's it. So I don't want to see what happened to Roddy White, how he got ran out of town. He got done dirty. So Julio, we owe this man. At this point, what Arthur Blank and this front office should be focusing in on is who is the right GM, the right head coach that can help get Matt Ryan and Julio a ring before they retire. That should be their number one priority at this point. Because for all these guys have done for this organization, not getting in trouble off the field, like Julio Jones don't do nothing off the field. Go fish, and you don't hear nothing, no foolishness.
Go to damn mid-time bowling. That's it. That man sit in the corner at mid-time bowling and mind his damn business.
Exactly. So, he didn't even get in the fight with the Migos. He was like, y'all can have that.
They gonna call him Joe Budden.
Yeah. When you got somebody like Julio that's not a diva, because like Julio could be a diva all the way. So the talent that he has, he could be demanding, I want 12 targets a game. I want Dunkin' Donuts at my locker. Like he could be coming up with all this kind of stuff he wants. And for what I heard, this dude is not a high maintenance type player. So at this point, Man, we gotta give Matt Ryan and Julio Jones their flowers right now while we got them. Like I really think that, like Mike said, we spoiled, man. We spoiled. Yeah. I've seen Antonio Brown and these guys, Odell Beckham, getting in trouble, off the field. I don't hear nothing out of Julio. This dude is the model citizen. So I want this guy on the team as long as possible.
Hey, man. At the end of the day, it's like, and we seen what they were saying during the broadcast today. 0-7 in games where what was it? 3 points or less, or
6 points or less?
3 points or less.
3 points, 6 points, 6
One
points.
possession.
I mean,
we're not a bad team. This is not a bad team.
Exactly. So it's like we need a coach. We need a stepdaddy. We need somebody to come in with the players that we got. Take this family over and get this team on the right direction. We just need a step. We need a coach that doesn't give us that OnlyFans defense on 3rd and 16.
Hey,
oh my goodness,
Coach, I'm glad you said that because I have to do this. I have to do this the right way. What'd you say? What the record was? Well, when the Falcons lost the game by 6 or fewer points.
0-7.
Well, 0-7. Now with 0-7.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcons coaching staff. You're getting that shit for the whole season. Because not only just for those situations like that, but you got basically you have an environment it's a toxic environment of players calling coaches out, coaches calling players out. We had to think about it. We 4-12, which means Raheem Morris won 4 games and lost 7. So that's not going to look good on his resume as far as a head coach. Dirk Cutter, you came up with the perfect game plan 16 weeks too late.
Right.
These running backs had more catches out the backfield this game than they had combined the last 4-5 games.
Right, man.
Somebody get Gary Kubiak on the phone.
Hey, man, somebody. Hey, for real.
Bro, they could get Coach Bo You or whoever.
Kubiak would be I think he would be the absolute perfect person for this job, man. I really believe that. I think he wants to be in Atlanta, whether his son. So there's always that the transition period with it is, I think it'll definitely be a lot. It won't be as long because they've all, like Kyle Shanahan already came in, put the kind of foundation to it. So it's like it won't be a learning curve with it. They already know. They just have to figure out like what, Gary Kubiak or his son, they like to run. It's the exact same system, just different wrinkles. Kyle Shanahan likes to use a lot of bootleg and a lot of motion. Kubiak doesn't use as much. And I think, like I said, I think that'd be it'd really be a perfect match.
Yeah, because we seen what Kubiak did with Peyton Manning in the twilight of his career. And Matt Ryan, his arm isn't looking like Peyton Manning's now, but I really think that with a veteran quarterback like Matt Ryan, who's seen pretty much everything, in the NFL, coupled with Kubiak and the offensive weapons that we have, and then all we have to do is just have a capable defense. Playoff team all day, like 0-7, y'all. If we would have won won more than half of those games, we would have been in the playoff race.
That's it. That's not a bad team. That's not a bad team.
That's an unfortunate team. That's really what they. And Harrison and the buddies talk about what if none of the coaching staff was fired. Oh boy, y'all better tune into Atlanta Falcon Nation next year because we about to be ranting like
boy.
But we're gonna we're gonna have picket signs and everything up in this motherfucker.
They ain't want to hear my prediction for next year. We come back with this same coaching staff.
Hey man, y'all. Hey, do not forget this offseason. We won't do as many live shows. We're actually the shows itself, ATL and Sports Zone. Heavy hitters. They are on break, but we aren't on break. We just won't go live as often. But if you have questions, leave your question on anyone's video so we can make videos, or we can even decide to do a video based on your questions in the off season. So it's like this is like we're not stopping. We're on season break. That's it. That's all it is. Exactly. So you guys make sure that you continue to plug those questions. Continue to give us the comments under the video so we can get to these comments, because I want to get down to prospects. I want to talk about prospects. I want to talk about the head coaches. We got a lot of content coming for you guys. We're just on season break, so there won't be shows on Monday, Tuesday, but we will continue to give you nothing but the film breakdown. We still might continue the film breakdowns and whatnot, but we're going to continue to give you content. Don't look. Everybody know how it is. They know how I am. I don't stop. We don't stop over here just for the season. No, we keep on grinding, man.
Yeah, you already know what time it is, man.
Exactly.
All season, we still gonna be bringing y'all content. Y'all make sure that y'all check everybody out. Make sure you check your boy Big Low Country out. If y'all try to go and spell it with the COUNTRY, you might not find it. It's spelled KUNTRY. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm from the country. But yeah, we're definitely still going to be giving you content. Make sure that you do comment, just like Mike was saying, because we love that kind of stuff. That gives us stuff to talk about. You know what they say about people that talk to themselves. We don't want to be talking and answering ourselves at the same time.
Exactly.
Right.
Like I said, it might not just be Falcons content. Like I said, we might have some Hawks content for you.
Absolutely.
And like I said, we might have some Atlanta United content coming with you.
Hey, man. Hey, Jew, man, he's a Cavalier fan, so he might throw some Cal videos up there, man.
I got some Cal videos coming for y'all, and some NBA content just in general, because Kstylz, he's taking over. When he was doing his Monday night show, I said, man, Kstylz, he know his basketball too. Hey, I want to get in on this talk, dog. Y'all make sure y'all sub my boy Kstylz, man. He just hit 100. He on this quest for 200. Y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man. Kstylz know his stuff. Hey, NBA, whatever content y'all want, Kstylz got it.
I'm about to say it ain't all just jokes, glasses, and receding hairlines over here. I mean,
oh man.
But like I said,
we talking about me, Kstylz.
He said,
"What? We talking about you? My bad. You talking about glasses and receding hairlines. I thought you were talking
about. I was talking about me. Why you think I got this LeBron headband on right now? Hey, Mike, at least yours is straight across the middle. Hey, y'all ever seen them?
It ain't that bad, I guess.
Hey, you ever seen them Jet Li moves from back in the day when he had that hair that was like halfway like this? That's where I'm at right now.
Man.
Oh, man. Hey, yeah, like I said, definitely we do the basketball talk. Everybody in here do the basketball talk. Everybody do Braves, whatever the hell they feel like it.
Yeah, man.
Just let you know it's gonna be something coming from you. So, what y'all got, fellas?
I was just gonna say, y'all know we were talking about the receding hairline. Jew ain't say nothing. Y'all.
Hey man, I'm still intact, baby. I'm still intact, baby. Even though I think they're gonna see the do-rag first. I'm still intact.
Well, go ahead, the 360 waves on y'all ass.
Yeah, man. Hey, trying to wave up.
Jew-hat do not come on. Jew-hat does not come on. Don't even ask that question.
Exactly. You just got a damn exclusive right there.
Yeah, man. There you go, man. This is a classic. You gotta have the Atlanta Falcons all day.
Exactly.
All day, bro. All day.
Exactly.
All day.
So what y'all want to get to the final 2 point or I'm about to say,
Hey, man.
I got any more questions? But if not, we can hit this final 2 point. And I want to say,
Let's hit these 2 points, man. Let's hit these 2 points.
you want to start the fast break off with Mike?
All right, man. Man, I don't even know where to start outside of I just wish Dirk Cutter. I just want him to fall in a ditch where he's not dead. I don't want him to die. I just want him to stay stuck in that bitch for at least 2 years, so we won't have. We won't even think about trying to bring him back because we can't get the guy that we want. His ass needs to go. He needs to stay gone and never, ever, 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 ever come back to Atlanta. He needs to go. Period. Point blank. That's all I want for the Falcons. I don't care what happens, to be honest, in the offseason. I just don't want Dirk Cutter back. Don't bring him back. Period. So I guess I throw that thing Big Low.
No, I'll take that thing down in the post. Hey man. So every year I make sure to wait until after the Falcons football season, around March or so, to do my yearly checkup. Reason I do that, make sure that my blood pressure done came down. You know, it's a good thing that I did that this year, man, because I don't know. This season has been very frustrating, and for the first time in a long time, it's like I actually feel kind of relieved. Like I feel like, you know, I'm ready for new beginnings. You know, so this whole season, man, it's just been rough. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move forward. We're gonna look at these draft prospects. We're gonna watch some 2020 college games, and you know, just look and see who we might be getting on this team moving forward. And look, I want everybody in this chat. I want y'all to join me on this journey as we go into 2021 because look, I just became a YouTube content creator. So this is actually perfect for me. So it's like now we're gonna break down getting these new coaches, getting this new GM, getting these new draft picks, and you know what free agents that we do get. So y'all make sure that y'all subscribe to my channel, Big Low Country. And I'm sorry, y'all, I'm from the country, so it's spelled Kuntry. But y'all make sure that y'all subscribe to my channel. And you know, we're just gonna break it down, man. We're gonna sit around, talk about football. I apologize if my accent annoys you. I'm from the country. I'm actually trying to clean it up right now so y'all can understand what I'm saying, because I'm one of those old geeky boys. But hey, I definitely appreciate y'all chilling out with me and Atlanta Falcons Nation this year. But just like Mike said, we're definitely going to be bringing y'all some more content in the future. You know, so I'm finna throw that behind the back thing to my homeboy Jew.
All right, man. I just want to thank all of you guys for tuning in all season long. Even though it was a rough year, you know, 2020 is behind us. 2021, I'm ready to see who this new GM is going to be, who this new head coach is going to be, what direction this team is about to go in. Because I've talked about it all season. This Atlanta Falcons team in general, we need an identity. What is the identity of this team? What's going to be the backbone of this team? You know, what are we going to expect every Sunday? Because going into every Sunday, you know, after we were eliminated from the playoffs, I didn't know what we were going to get from Sunday, you know, Sunday in and Sunday out, what we was going to see, what we was going to expect. You know, I never knew. So hopefully whoever this new coach is, I don't care whether it's defense, offensive minded head coach, as long as they bring some type of identity to this team, I'm going to be happy. I just want to see our Falcons play aggressive and us dominate other teams. Like, impose your will. That's what football's about. Impose your will on your opponent. Like, forget being scared. It's just another man. It's man on man. It's moving another man against his will. That's what football is all about. So I just hope that whoever this next GM and coach is, they believe in trench play, trench warfare. We need to beef up the defensive line. We need to protect our quarterback, and we need to run the football. So whoever that new coach is, I hope that they bring in old school football, that philosophy of being physical, playing smart football, playing aggressive football, and playing physical football. That's what we really need here in Atlanta. And also clock management, because this year, as Kstylz already gave the coaching staff the Powder Toast Award, they were the worst all season. The coaching, when you lose 0-7, 0-8 today after the loss today, when you lose, you 0-8 in one possession games, that's coaching. I'm sorry, that's coaching. And we've lost games every way you can lose it this year. And that's why Coach Lowe, need his blood pressure medicine, because he probably like, bruh, like after a while, you become numb to it. Like at this point, we've lost so many games. When I watch the game, I'm not even getting upset. Like after we were eliminated from the playoffs, I'm like, all right, I know what it's going to be. We don't have competent coaching. So these players, if we do win, it's not going to be because of the coaching. And that's a problem. So I just hope that Arthur Blank, he's a great guy. I hope that we can bring a winner, because he's doing everything he can. Like they built a nice stadium. We got new uniforms. All of that's cool. I heard the concession is reasonable price. Now it's time to put out a winning product. It's time to put a winning product on the field. So that's what I want to see. I know this is why you guys tune in every Sunday to watch us. We try to entertain you guys and make it a little bit easier. But when you're losing, it's not easy on nobody. Trust me. Arthur Blank's blood pressure is probably raised right now, and everybody in that front office, because you ain't selling no tickets when you putting out this product. So if at this point, hopefully coronavirus come next year is out the way so we can get the fans back in the stands. But to be honest, coronavirus actually saved us, because I don't think it was too many fans that was going to go buy those PSL and those season tickets with the way that we played this season. So coronavirus actually saved us, guys, to be honest, because there weren't no fans going to see this trash we was putting out. So hopefully next year, I'm having a positive mindset. I really think that 2021 is going to be great. I think when we bring in this next head coach, I think they're going to establish the will. We're going to become a more disciplined team. For my channel, you guys definitely go Jew Talk Sports. We're on the quest to 800 and then 1,000. I think we're sitting at like somewhere around 760. Hey, let's get to this 1,000. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to be giving you guys Cleveland Cavalier basketball content. That's my squad since now we're on break. But I'm also going to be giving you guys just NBA content in general, because I know it ain't a ton of Cavalier fans out there, but I'm going to be giving you guys NBA content in general. Also on my channel, like this week, I'm going to try to give you guys some postseason content. So it might not be the Falcons, but I'm a football fan first. So I'm going to try to break down some of these playoff matchups. I don't know what the panel think about us doing something like that, but I want to break down some of this content of these playoff matchups. Once today is over with, and once we see who's matching up next weekend for the wild card round, I'm gonna break this thing down on my channel. Who I think might win these games coming up this next week, and all the way through to the Super Bowl, just to give us something to talk about until we figure out who our GM and who our next head coach is gonna be. Because I don't know how fast they're gonna make that hiring. I heard it's a lot of people, like Mike was saying, that's being interviewed at this point. But at this point, we don't know who's going to be the next head coach or GM, and they might not be until probably after the Super Bowl. So I'm definitely going to be breaking down these matchups in the playoffs, and I'm definitely going to be watching the playoffs. Even though our Falcons is on the sideline, hopefully whoever our next coach is, they watching these playoffs so we'll know how to get there. That's how you do it. We got to get the formula, the winning formula. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and kick this thing to Kstylz. But again, I just really want to appreciate you guys tuning in to all of our shows throughout the weeks this season, because I know this season was like a down year for our Falcons. So we really appreciate all the super chats that you guys send in to Atlanta Falcons Nation. We appreciate that. With that being said, I'm gonna kick it over to my boy Kstylz.
So y'all got me being the closer right now. All right, that's cool. Hey, we appreciate everybody riding with us all season, tuning in every week. Wins or losses, hey, it is whatever it is. Jew said something about new uniform, new stadium and stuff. But if you put diamonds on shit, it's still gonna be shit unless you flush it. And that's pretty much what this season has been. But At the end of the day, I ain't got much to say. I'm gonna just say that AFN is not just us; it is y'all that tune in and watch us. Now, like I said, I'll be doing some other content: NBA, Hawks, soccer. Well, hell, you might see some spike ball content from it. I'm watching this shit on ESPN. It's the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. Some ultimate tag, whatever. We can do all that. But just like Big Low is, I'm like I said, I'm new in the universe as well, the YouTube universe. Hey, I'm trying to keep up with these guys. Hey, if it wasn't for these guys, I wouldn't be doing this thing now. And they the reason why they keep me on my toes. And just like y'all too. So, like I said, just leave comments. Like I said, we'll do videos on them. Like I said, we can talk about why Matt Ryan sucks. We can do all that stuff. Just don't let it go. Just give it to us all. But Falcons, I need y'all to change this damn culture for next season, because if it's gonna be the same damn show, dude, hold on. I'm gonna show you the state the Falcons left me in this season. Remember I told you I talked about my hairline and stuff? This is the state of the Falcons left me in this season. I'm gonna show you a picture. Now, if there's an after show tonight, y'all stay tuned to that, because if I'm on there, I will play the damn infomercial I got that picture from.
That man got a George Jefferson hairline, boy.
You see the shit? But like I said, this has been therapy for me and for all of us. And like I said, we just appreciate show appreciation for what you have now, because you might not have it tomorrow. I just put it better like that. And that's it for mine. I had to slam. I didn't slam dunk it, but I threw a little layup in there. We scored.
Hey, you didn't call a damn draw, so you good.
Oh my goodness! If I called a draw, boy, that thing would have been. Oh boy, that shit would have been horrible. Man, this is almost sad, man. Falcon football is over.
Boy.
Well, we all look like we just lost a family member or something. We need to sing we need to sing
Black Monday tomorrow, so
it might be tomorrow. So I'm just waiting for tomorrow. I just need to see Dirt Cutter gone. That's all I need. I can take anybody besides him.
Anybody besides him. Okay. Well, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be the end of the post-game show. Like I said, y'all make sure y'all share this thing. Make sure you follow everybody's handles. That's the Jew Talk Sports, Mad Mike Sports, Bit Low Country Sports. Yeah, like I said, he country here, so that's the key Kuntry. If you type in the actual country, you might find somebody making a recipe or something. So five times. And me, like I said, like I said, we appreciate everybody. And we out.
Rise up. 8 times down.
Motherfuckers.